On behalf of the Opie Jindal Global University, I wish to express our deep gratitude to Honorable Vice President of India for gracing our convocation ceremony and blessing the students. The Parliament is currently in session, and you can easily imagine numerous demands on his time as Chairman Rajya Sabha, the upper house. His august presence at this function clearly demonstrates his outstanding commitment to the cause of higher education. His profound, erudite, at the same time witty address has left a deep impact on everyone present here. His inspiring words to our graduating students will motivate them to excel in their chosen careers and work towards nation building. Dear sir, we wish to profusely thank you for being the chief guest at our convocation ceremony and for your thought-provoking address to the members of JGU community. The Honorable Governor Haryana, Professor Kaptan Singh Solanki, has been a great source of inspiration, support and encouragement to OP Jindal Global University. In our efforts over the past 5 years, we thank him for delivering the visitor's address and for his august presence at today's function. I wish to thank Honorable Acting Chief Justice, Delhi High Court, Ms. Justice Geeta Mittal, who has been a role model for all law practitioners as well as law students for gracing the convocation ceremony and for blessing our students. I wish to congratulate all students who are going to receive their degrees, and in particular those who have received medals for academic distinction and outstanding leadership. I also would like to wish their parents, family members and all well-wishers who are present here to witness this ceremony. JGU will fondly remember you and cherish your memory. I know that there are many sitting judges from Madhya Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Chhattisgarh, Karnataka, Allahabad and other high courts, former Union Minister for Law and Justice, Mr. Shanti Bhushan, and many high-ranking civil servants among the parents and other relatives who are present here. It is humanly impossible to acknowledge each one of them individually, but I wish to say one thing: you have been a part of the JGU family and will remain so in the coming years. We remember fondly our liberal arts faculty member, Professor Andrew Hay, who succumbed to brain tumor after a valiant fight a few months back. We also remember LLM student R. Manoj, who died in an accident a couple of months back while trekking, and pay rich tributes to them on this occasion. I wish to thank all distinguished guests, including Madam Savitri Jindal, Mrs. Shallu Jindal, and other members of the Jindal family, members of the JGU governing body, faculty members and their spouses, ambassadors and other diplomats, senior officials of the Government of Haryana as well as Government of India, vice chancellors and registrars of various universities, representatives of the print and electronic media for participating in this convocation ceremony. In particular, I wish to acknowledge the presence of former Chief Minister of Jammu and Kashmir, Mr. Farooq Abdullah, who is present in our midst today. I wish to thank our Honorable Chancellor, Mr. Naveen Jindal, for his solid support and guidance in the past 9 years, and the dynamic Vice Chancellor, Professor Rajkumar, for his immense contribution to institution building. I wish to thank all faculty members and all deans dealing with academic affairs who strove very hard in the past few months, heads of all administrative departments, and in particular the examinations, communications, events, sports, infrastructure, HR, security, U-Hall, food, and also executive officers of various schools and Vice Chancellor's office, my own Registrar's office, student council representatives, student volunteers who worked very hard for making the 7th convocation ceremony a grand success. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the National Anthem. The chief guest, Shri M. Venkaiah Naidu, Honorable Vice President of India, and the guest of honor, Governor Kaptan Singh Solanki, must leave the venue for their next engagements. Please be seated and the ceremony will continue. We will now continue the ceremony with speeches by students of each program. I would now invite Vasudha Ahuja, Vijil Venugopal, Atharva Chaitanya Deshmukh, Vishali Gautam, and Srivatsan Manivanan Q to come to the stage. Yes. And a bit of a preview for what we'll be seeing later today. Tonight, we will also be releasing our strategic report, which will be laying out a vision for the next 10 years of growth for the university. When you visit our university, for our students who have and our parents who have as well, it's fairly amazing to think about that only 9 years previously, there was very little there. And to think that we've grown from only 100 students in the law school all the way to our graduates today is an immense accomplishment. And so today we will be releasing the strategic report where we'll be laying out the vision for the next 10 years of our university. But enough about that. Let me please, students, please come to the stage.
Good evening, everybody, especially to our honorable guests, to our respected Vice Chancellor, Dean of JGLS, Professor Rajkumar, Professor Murthy, our esteemed professors, parents, and my fellow graduating batchmates. I am Vasudha Ahuja, and I'm speaking on behalf of the law school. Our experiences at Jindal may be described as a celebration of a chance taken for a challenge that lies ahead. JGU has evolved in less than a decade as a leading law school of the country, thanks to the vision and gravitas of our VC, driven by his dynamism, energy, and international stature. Today, JGU provides us a platform to launch ourselves among the leading legal brains of tomorrow. Initially, it was daunting to confine ourselves to acres of rural land among complete strangers. But the journey, filled with huge learning and personal growth, has opened the doors to immense opportunities because of JGU's global outlook, world-class faculty, infrastructure, and facilities. The flexibility of deeper engagement with law and society through elective subjects, research, teaching assistantships, paired with Bollywood Night, Biswa Mill, and several sporting events has taught us the art of balancing the grind with the gratification. We have had a chance to build relationships and create networks of a unique fraternity, which will individually and collectively define and drive the social, economic, and legal fabric of the nation. We've also had experiences on the international stage through summer programs at Harvard, Columbia, Oxford, just to name a few. And some of us even spent a semester abroad at leading universities across the globe. However, the icing on the cake was a Willem C. Wismut on international commercial arbitration last year. It was a great honor to represent the university and the country to bring laurels by being the global runners-up at Vienna, competing with over 300 law schools. Now, as we near the culmination of our journey at Jindal, I feel confident saying that this is certainly not the end. In fact, this is just the beginning. Whether we go forward to practice law or not, we will always carry the skills of deep analysis and logical deduction. We will always be grateful for the stamina and creativity we built in our years at JGU. So, dear friends, before we receive the tangible acknowledgement of our toil and accomplishments here, we have time for just one more moment of law school. A last lesson from our alma mater is this: use your powers of imagination with your powers of analysis. Now, our professors might agree that as law students, we can be pretty imaginative when it comes to, finding reasons to reduce the syllabus, postpone the deadline. It's the same skill that is needed for us to enlarge the pie rather than to divide it, be it during a business deal or settling a divorce case. And now, to end on a humorous note, as we graduate, we must remember to thank those who got us here. Google, Wikipedia, caffeine, our seniors' materials, Indian Qanoon, and the ever-reliable copy-paste feature on our laptops. After all, it doesn't matter who you are, where you come from, or what you've got. What matters is what you do with what you've got. Thank you, JGU.
I would like to ask everybody to please return to the venue and be seated. It is profoundly disrespectful to the student speakers to leave during this time. Please return. Thank you.
Good evening. On behalf of the graduating batch of the Jindal School of International Affairs, allow me to extend a heartfelt gratitude to our Chancellor, our Vice Chancellor, the Registrar, the Dean of the School of International Affairs, all the faculty members and the staff of Opie Jindal Global University and the Jindal School of International Affairs for their vision and their efforts. Let me also take a moment to thank all our parents for their invaluable role in our journey. Over the last few days, I thought long and hard about what I would say today. But considering that there is a high probability of students and some of my closest friends falling asleep as I speak, I thought I'd do things a little differently. I'd like to instead talk about something that is unique to the students graduating today from JSIA. This is no ordinary graduating batch. Among those graduating today, we have the first batch of the BA in Global Affairs at the Jindal School of International Affairs. Ours is a tale of firsts. The first lecture, the first examination, the first UMC, the first election, the first disagreement, the first bad decision, the second bad decision, the third bad decision. But you know where I'm going with this. Through the 3 years that we spent here, we have been able to realize the value of being the first batch. It taught us something about life. We don't need to be the best at what we do, but we just need to be the first. We need to be the first to take the road not taken. We need to be the first that connect the dots, the first to take notice, and the first to pounce at an opportunity. You just need to believe in yourself enough to know that somehow, somewhere, the dots will connect. And that belief does not come easy. You need something or someone to believe in. And that is what JSIA gave us. And for that, we are eternally grateful. Somewhere, somehow, between the heartwarming faculty of JSIA and Ms. Swarnima's Kuch Nahi Hoga Beta approach, we found the ability to take life by the collar. And that's what makes us stand out. We see our friends from other courses going through university with a clear goal in mind, professionally and personally, but not us. It's not that we didn't have a goal. It's just that we were too focused on the process to take notice of what the goal was beginning to look like. Allow me to end on a personal note. I spent a semester abroad at Leiden University in the Netherlands. Among other things, I realized that compared to my friends, most of whom were exchange students like me, I was able to adapt to the academic challenge that a well-reputed university like Leiden presented much better. What made the difference was my foundation that had been laid right here at the Jindal School of International Affairs. What I realized is that JSI has given us wings to fly. Now all we have to do is believe in ourselves and jump. In 2015, when I was pondering over which university I would go to, I chose JGU because the university was just like me. Young, excited, curious, determined to do something different, but above all else, it was a university that was trying to find itself and define its identity. So was I. 3 years later, I stand before you as someone who has found himself somewhere along the same path that the university has found itself. So, my fellow batchmates, here we are. Well, most of us are. We don't know what the next step is. Some of us do, some of us don't. And who knows where life takes us next. But what we do know is that wherever it takes us, we might just be the first ones to get there. And there is nothing as hauntingly beautiful as that. On behalf of the graduating batch of JSIA, this is Atharva Deshmukh signing off. Thank you.
So, good evening, everyone, and respected dignitaries on and off the dais, Justice Geeta Mittal and Professor C. Rajkumar, our founding Chancellor, Sri Naveen Jindal, Y.S. Amoti sir, and Professor Sean Bala. I wanted to start this talk a bit differently because whenever I came for a convocation speech, I start hearing, this is the end, and there we are, here we are going. Okay, so I wanted to tell everyone that, like, this is not the end. So this is just a beginning. To start off with, like when I came in to do my MBA, so myself Vigil, and I'm talking here on behalf of the Jindal Global Business School. And when I came over here, we had people from different cultures. Yeah, I hope this is right. So we had people from different cultures, different area, different sex, and the point is, we were able to gel together very well. And that did not happen over a day. Because nothing is a fairy tale, and everything has got its repercussions. So at this moment, I want every one of you, not only from GGBS, every single student who is sitting over here, to retrospect for a second. Like, we might think that we have done it, we are graduating today, and this is the biggest thing we have ever done. It's a big deal, I agree. But just close your eyes and think, for those who are sitting right next to you, your parents, who has been seeing you grow all the while and making sure that you are getting the best education possible. And for them, whether you're 14 or 24, whether you're a PhD or a graduate or postgrad, for them, you are still their child. So I think it's the parents in this house who are the real champions today, that we are graduating and we are standing here as a graduate today before them. And to point out certain things from what we had in our campus, I was just trying to identify what would I miss the most. And sadly, it was a JGU Wi-Fi. I mean, though we've been complaining about it every now and then to our Vice Chancellor, we've been missing that a lot for the last 2 months. And to talk about something else, is what do I remember when I leave the campus? Yes, I do remember all the energy drinks which we had in Amul, more than the subjects I learned. Because pulling all-nighters was a thing for everyone, because we had endless PPTs and we kept on ranting about the free riders in our group. Yes, it happens. And then Jiju taught us how to relate a place emotionally with food. Yes, that includes the aloo tikki burger with cheese and the spring rolls from Amul, which we get. I think the pronunciation is right and people know it. And waiting where the Koturi has got a biryani stall for every biswa meal. And that too, we have to find the confirmation in between the poems sent by the admin. The poem, if everyone remembers. And adding on the Sandeep Bhaiya's coffee, or even the ever-hyped chole bhature on Sunday. And I've just marked out something, so I didn't want to miss out anything. The late-night walks, the waiting for summer and winter merchandise to arrive. Have they still arrived? I'm still doubtful. The flagpole birthdays, the elections, the bidding war preparations, the deadlines for which we always blamed the laptop crashing. And then to talk on a school-wide, when we came here to do the MBA, we knew that we were not in a Tier 1 or Tier 2 B school. But the way our professors helped us, like, the way we were pushed to a lot of adversities and we were asked to see, like, where you stand and where actually the others stand. So I would personally want to thank our Dean, Professor Tapan Panda over here, because my friends are sitting over there in that corner, and we all went through his marketing management classes. He was a professor in IIM Indore as well. He was a director of IIM Indore. So we still cannot solve a single question which was there in the case analysis which was given by him. So we knew that the world is going to be brutal from here on, because college was much better. If you ask me how was work life, I came over here right after my 4 a.m. shift. So the life is going to be brutal. So the only thing I want every one of you to keep in mind is, if you have a will, you'll go ahead, because the survival is only for the fittest. So I want each and every one of you to not only make your parents proud, but now we are a family. You came here as an individual, but now we are living as an entire JGU family or part of the fraternity. So your duty is to make each and everyone proud. Maybe not now, maybe later, but we are all going to make each other proud, and we are all waiting for that moment. So pull up your socks, roll up your sleeves, and all those fancy words I'm adding over here to make it sound more exciting and more not boring. That's all from my side. Signing off.
Distinguished guests, family members, faculty, and my fellow graduates. It's an honor to be a part of this 7th convocation ceremony. I am Vaishali Kuttam, here on behalf of the MA Public Policy, class of 2016. The day we joined JGU still feels very fresh in my mind. It only feels like yesterday that we were walking around the academic block, wondering why it was full of glass and steel, wondering why there was a huge but beautiful flag in the middle of the university, and what life had in store for us for the next 2 years. Little did we know that we were in for the best roller coaster ride of our lives. As young public policy enthusiasts, eager to learn, how to tackle the challenges faced by the society, and with the hope to make a difference in our hearts, we joined JSGP. Knowing little of who we would become or what we would accomplish, we took to swimming through perspectives in sociology, sliding along the curves in economics, sipping away political philosophy and governance, and getting our hands dirty in research. JGU proved to be a rare and unique space for discussion and debate. It was a land of opportunity for most of us thirsty for knowledge and learning. Our journey felt a lot like how Charles Dickens described in The Tale of Two Cities. It was the best of times, it was the worst of times. JSGP and JGU have molded our class not just into young policymakers, but more importantly, into a family and a community. A community with a collective responsibility towards our country and the world. From those who wanted to work to live, we became those who now live to work. Though today is supposed to be a celebration of our graduation, we also need to celebrate the people around us who brought us here. So we stand here grateful and indebted to all those who have been a part of this bittersweet journey with us, without whom we would not have been who we are today. Our Chancellor, Mr. Naveen Jindal, Vice Chancellor, Dr. Rajkumar, our Dean, Professor Sudarshan, parents, faculty, fellow classmates, and the administration. As we arrive at the end of this rare, unique, and meaningful journey, I would dearly miss being amazed at how fast JGU could build and grow, the beautiful sunsets and the green that always surrounded us, hanging out with faculty, but most of all, those who are a part of this journey with us. However, we must remember that this is not the end, but rather a new beginning. Or as Robert Frost would say, the woods are lovely, dark, and deep, but I have promises to keep, and miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep. Congratulations, class of 2016. Thank you.
Good evening, JGU. Here we are at our graduation ceremony, and there is much to be spoken about, but as a liberal arts student, I have decided to speak outside the yellow box. And you know, the first feeling that you have when you're at graduation is similar to getting a gate pass. First, it's freedom, happiness, and once you're outside and you finally realize that you're unable to get back to campus, the fear, doubt. The same kind of doubt that fills you when you realize that you need to leave one home in order to search for another. Which brings me to this. The roads that lead us home are rarely smooth. Most often, they're like a Haryanvi road. They are treacherous, bumpy, filled with confusion and unexpected turns. So either these 3 years have gone by a little too soon, or maybe they took too long. But as liberal arts students, there is one thing that we were. 40 of us studying the arts in Sonipat, Haryana. It was an experiment to see if we could enter and leave this university as different people. And I believe we have. If anything, we've come to prioritize different things. In these 3 years, we've learned much. What makes us different, however, is what we choose to remember. All this time, we've tried to learn about what wonder is. What is wonder? And for me, if anything, wonder is acknowledging that there are things out there that we don't know. And aren't we experts at that? We are experts in the things we don't know, and I, for one, still don't know the difference between T1 and T3, but I still managed to get to my classes on time. Even if we don't know the way forward, we still know where we want to go. At JSLH, we learned philosophy from a blue bottle and economics from Rasagullas. And as graduate students, I hope we don't leave this place stupider or smarter. It doesn't matter. What I hope and what would matter is if we step out of this place a little kinder, a little more willing to admit that there are differences that we cannot understand. Wonder is understanding that empathy is incomplete, that sometimes we can't understand, that boys don't understand the pain of menstruation, us privileged students don't understand the suffering of a Dalit woman or the struggle of a Kashmiri, but we understand our privilege. I ask that we understand our privilege and the responsibilities that it brings with us. We can be kind to each other. Wonder is inviting the misunderstood into our homes, having it sit for a meal, even if we don't understand the language it speaks. And that is what I leave you with. As graduating students, I don't know who you'll be, I don't know where you're going to be going, but however hard, and it will get hard to accomplish your dreams, if you ever feel like you aren't good enough, I hope you remember this. And if you ever come to question yourself, if your belief wavers, we always have a home on campus. We always have coffee and Maggie with extra masala on green grasses, watching the flag being brought down right before the rain. And I ask that you remember to be kind to yourself. Be kind to yourself and step out of this place as a kinder person, and all will be well. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. May I now request the founding Chancellor of Opie Jindal Global University, Mr. Naveen Jindal, to deliver the Chancellor's address.
Honorable Justice Geeta Mittal, Acting Chief Justice, Delhi High Court, Chairperson of Opie Jindal Group, Srimati Savitri Jindal, former Law Minister and grandfather of 2 students of OPJGU, Shri Shanti Bhushanji, Vice Chancellor Professor Rajkumar, Registrar Dr. Murthy, Professor Sean Bala, other distinguished guests, students, faculty, family members, and parents of graduating students. I am absolutely delighted to see all of you for the 7th Convocation ceremony of Opie Jindal Global University. Today is a very special day. It's a day of celebration, of reflection, and most importantly, of gratitude. I know you will be missing out hanging around late evenings near the national flag. Yes, I've heard of the yellow box also. And the memorable nights of Biswa meal. One world is over and another is waiting to begin. It is indeed a very special day for me too, as it's my father's 88th birth anniversary. And we created JGU in his memory. My father has been my inspiration and guiding light in life. He always said that education is the greatest gift that you can give to anyone. As I stand here talking about him, I am remembering him. And I really miss him. I wish he would be here with us today to see the incredible work we have achieved together and to celebrate this special occasion with all of you. So, it's an emotional day for all of you, and it's an emotional day for me. I have been thinking last week what to say to you. What to say to you that would really inspire you, that would guide you, and prepare you for your journey ahead. So today, I will share with you a very personal, very difficult time I have gone through and I'm going through. How I handled it, how I cope with it, and how it has made me stronger. As you all know, that when I'm not busy as the Chancellor of OPJGU, I am busy as the Chairman of Jindal Steel and Power Limited, JSPL. Growing up, I observed my father, my brothers setting up steel plants, power plants, and I too was inspired. I too wanted to follow into my father's footsteps. With this determination and a vision of a modern India, we at JSPL grew the company in 1993 from 0.3 million tons to a 10 million ton conglomerate in 2018. And we also generate 5,000 megawatt of electricity. As a group, in the last 15 years, we created economic activity of 3 lakh crores. Yes, 3 lakh crores. And invested more than 70,000 crores in setting up the latest, greatest, state-of-the-art temples of modern India, employing more than 100,000 families. And the last 15 years, paying to the government taxes of more than 36,000 crores. In fact, we are proud of the fact that it was JSPL that set up India's first mega power project in the private sector. It was not Tata or Birla, it was Jindal who did it. With the idea that there should be no power shortage in the country, that each and every home should be well lit. It is this love for country and nation building that defines JSPL and the work we do. In 2010, Boston Consulting Group declared JSPL as the greatest wealth creator in the world in the sector of metals and minerals. For doing all this, for setting up modern temples of India, and wherever we set up plants, we also did set up schools, we set up hospitals, we set up universities, industrial training institutes, and with a passion, not out of some compulsory CSR, but out of passion that God has been so kind to us. This country has given us so much. We must give back more to the society. That all our stakeholders, people living around our plants, must have a better quality of life. And what do we get? In 2014, overnight, all the steel and power assets across India, they lose their fuel source. We at JSPL went from a highly profitable company paying thousands of crores of income tax every year to a hugely loss-making company. And this is the primary reason why you read about NPAs every day. That we have more than 10 lakh crores of NPAs, and half of them, more than 5 lakh crores, you can attribute just to the coal block deallocation. With great difficulty and incredible determination, the team at JSPL was able to turn around and survive, while most others filed for bankruptcy. It doesn't stop here. Post deallocation, several malicious cases were also filed against JSPL. Our integrity, our love for India, and the honest values with which we have always worked were maliciously questioned. I personally felt attacked. I could not understand why my years of absolute dedication to serve and build the India of my dreams was being so viciously humiliated. I felt broken. And in moments, I even lost hope. But then I remembered, my father often told me that the brave dies only once, a coward dies many deaths. We at JSPL have nothing to hide. We have always worked with honesty, transparency, and complete integrity. We are proud of the work we have done and our contribution to nation building. OPJGU too is an example of our contributions we have made among many others. And friends, yet, what I want to share with you is how to stay happy. How to stay happy and focused in very difficult times. Never to give up, but to give your best and leave the rest to God. I firmly believe in the Vedantic philosophy, which says that our present state of happiness must not depend on future events or future achievements. We have to be very happy today, not after we get a job, not after we get admission in another university, but every moment we have to be happy and grateful. So all through this difficult period, I have succeeded. Succeeded in working harder than ever before. Being happier at work, in the gym, on the horseback, in the polo field, and enjoying each and every moment. I have spent more time playing with my canine companion called Chester and catching up with friends and family. I think and I hope that I have become better, more humble, and just a better person. So, dear graduating students, my simple message is that when you face challenges in life, and you will face challenges in your life, face them with a smile. Face tough times by giving it your best. And remember that tough times do not last. Tough people do. I've also drawn inspiration from a quote of Abraham Lincoln, which my advisor in 1990 in University of Texas at Dallas, Mrs. Patty Ashley, she framed it and she gave it to me. I do the best I know how, the very best I can. And I mean to keep on doing it till the very end. If the end brings me out all right, what is said against me will not amount to anything. If the end brings me out all wrong, 10 angels swearing I was right would make no difference. Dear graduating students, it's a very special day. It's a special day of gratitude. So I would request you all to please rise. All the graduating students, please rise. Now please, you can turn back and look at your family, your parents, Please give them a big hand. Please give a very big hand to your family, to your parents. It's their sacrifices which has made this day possible. Thank you. Please sit. Finally, I want to thank Vice Chancellor Professor Rajkumar and our team of 330 plus highly qualified faculty members who are the real strength of JGU. Let's give them a big hand also. Dear teachers, you are the main force behind the professional success and moral integrity of the graduating students. And dear students, please always treat the JGU alumni tag as a special badge of honor and always keep the JGU flag flying high. You are now our university's ambassadors. As you go out and make wonderful careers and shine in life, I'm sure my father's blessings will strengthen your character and support you through rough times. May God bless you all. Jai Hind.
Thank you, Honorable Chancellor, for a heartfelt address. And now I will request Ms. Justice Geeta Mittal, Honorable Acting Chief Justice of the Delhi High Court, to help us release our strategic vision document.